sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
Thicker the pie, thicker the bag. Meet him a bite, not leasing no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it. The is mad. Man in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around. Just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out. She don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger, watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. Where we gon' that? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one in the all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, Flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean, never let them touch. Fits like temper tantrums, girl, come back there.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready, blue wave. 5 on the 50, 5 on the 50, 5 on the 50.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Hey, let's get a conversion. Sonic!
Play action now. Winston. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Let's go now.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tyquan Lewis makes the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second down, Winston. Eluding the pressure right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Ready. Blue ready. Come on. Sunday. Let's go.
Now Jameis on second down. And it's caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Brown. From the gun, he'll throw. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A gain of 32 that time. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. Naeem Hines, his first carry. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. To throw on second down. Brown. Open man is Ross, complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, will step aside. They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Back to throw. Brown. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. Brown operating from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let them do all the work and then someone catch them at the end and pass them up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along the way and then go for the big finish.
Jameis to throw it. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Jordan Willis in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Where's that? Green, triple team. Where's that?
Now a handoff. Johnson. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13. Here's Winston. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift. Coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Brown. And he connects with Ebron. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Brown now. Off play action. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Flush to his right. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Winston now. Throw right side, take it in by Godwin. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys that have a little extra pep in their step, you go to them early and often. Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
Let's go now.
Again, it's Winston. This is Johnson. He's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Winston now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's 1st down.
Ready. Blue lady.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd down, Johnson looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. 4-6 defense, they were daring him to run the football. They ran it. A little football 101. Take us through what the 4-6 defense is, Charles.
So what you're trying to do with your big defensive front.
And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. In for the score. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Brown from the gun, he'll throw. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know it feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. David Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And last time, one-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show the quarterback, build their confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. Call it a loss of 8 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Brown, throwing on 3rd and long. He sets to fire deep. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Following the interception, Winston throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
On play action, Winston. And he comes back with one complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Jameis now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10.
Ready. Black 25. Check 52 to the right. Check 52 to the right. Right here, right here.
Here's Johnson. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Ready. Blue whitey. Where we go? Black 25.
Off the play fake, Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, have your fun. All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
No, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Ebron caught left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Off-play action. Brown. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Brown. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah,
then with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Winston again. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 30 yards there.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal.
Check 3. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
They'll run it with Johnson. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Play fake. Winston. Flushed out right. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down here, as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Looking to throw. Brown escaping the pressure right. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 22.